Hello, and welcome to the Fine Arts series, Friends of Aeolian Skinner, and we hope you enjoy this performance. This is the Fine Arts Quartet. They were absolutely amazing last night. One of the finest sounds I have ever heard. You're in for a real treat. They're all award-winning players, and they have over 200 recordings to their credit and more coming this summer. So I'm not going to take up time that they could be sharing glorious music with you. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you very much indeed. That was the last movement of Beethoven's String Quartet. And Beethoven lived from 1770 to 1827, and he was one of the most important composers of all time. He wrote symphonies, and he wrote many, many string quartets like the one we've just played. And they're the core of the repertoire for the string quartet, being 2 violins, viola, and cello. And it's very important for us to play this repertoire because it signifies what the most important, the most serious, and the most brilliant music that's written for string quartet. And as you heard, very powerful and very beautiful. And Beethoven loved to have beautiful music and very strong music. Those two sides were incredibly important to him. And so we enjoy playing his music enormously. And so we're going to play something else now for you. Let's choose. Maybe we're going to play something written a little bit earlier than this, because we play classical music, and the string quartet repertoire, that means the music that is written for classical string quartet, comes from really from the early 1700s right until this day. So composers writing music for us for the string quartet, for how many hundred years that is, 17, 18, 19, more than 300 years. So we choose music from this range of 300-year-old music to play. And today we will play some very modern music as well as some of the old music. But we'll go back a little bit to Haydn, Joseph Haydn, who was earlier than Beethoven a little bit. And we're going to play, what are we going to play? The last movement, shall we play? We're going to play another fun movement from Haydn. I think we've now thoroughly warmed ourselves up with all that physical activity. Maybe we'll play something a bit calmer, a bit softer and warmer now, something romantic maybe? Oh, right. So we're going to jump to something that's written very recently by Philip Glass, an American composer, who has written all sorts of, I'm sure, kind of film music and music with real atmosphere and completely different kind of music to what we've played so far. And he based his ideas of music not on the same structure as Beethoven and Haydn, but on a whole new idea of music going around like a loop in a way. So it's a very different quality and a different sound, and something that is very unique to Philip Glass. So you can tell how very different music written for string quartet is. I should say that you might be interested to know that we're playing this music from the early 1700s to now, but we're also playing instruments made in that period too. So, for instance, the two violins and the cello were all made in Italy in the 1700s, almost before Beethoven. And then Miguel is playing a modern instrument which is based on the same principle. So we have instruments that are more than 300 years old, which of course go very nicely with the music we play, but they adapt fantastically well to all the new music as well. So now we're going to play, what are we going to play? Okay, so now we're going to play a piece of music written by Ephraim Zimbalist. Now, you might have heard of Zimbalist, a film star, and this is his father. And Zimbalist was a very famous and amazingly brilliant virtuoso violinist, and he was actually born in the late 1800s and lived until, I think, 1975 or something like that. And he wrote a string quartet, of which we're going to play the last movement. Now, he was an amazing violinist and a composer, like Beethoven was an amazing pianist and composer. So very often the greatest players compose as well, like Ralph Evans, for instance. Here we are. He's also a composer, but we're not going to play his music today, unfortunately. We're going to play Zimbalist, another great violinist. Thank you very much. I think we've enjoyed playing you some highlights of quartet music, and as you can tell, very virtuously, very brilliant music written by brilliant composers. I hope you've enjoyed it.